Yeah, we've had a huge shift in on-field and off-field performance since last weekend. I think following the review from that game, we looked internally pretty hard and spoke about as a group quite openly what we needed to do individually and as a team to improve. And we've seen a huge shift in standards off the field and on the field this week. Massive focus for us has just been on our connection and our speed of moving forward with the ball. And I guess shoring up some of those areas defensively and around the ruck to actually allow us to play. But biggest shift I think we've seen this week is actually in our attitudes and the physicality we're bringing, the intent we're bringing off the field. And when you review last week's game, I think you could see that the opportunities were there, and we really let ourselves down in those areas. So to come out this week, have a really good couple of training sessions, and see everyone really kind of zone in for the result we want this weekend has been really positive.
How does that look off field, Mac? Is that sort of your pre and post training, sort of your work ethic, or is that sort of the connection piece, sort of being on field and being close together?
Yeah, I think all of it comes into it. Connection's obviously huge when you play a sport like rugby. You've got to know the person next to you to want to put your body on the line for them and to get in and do the hard work. But there's so many elements as athletes that we can improve on, whether it's nutrition, whether it's hydration, whether it's sleep, recovery, whether it's our review, preview, practicing micro skills away from the paddock, and then, obviously the stuff that everyone sees on the training field as well. But definitely lots of areas. Everyone can improve in one of them or another. So, yeah, there's been a big shift this week in girls working hard to, I guess, pick up something that they know that they can do better in.
Mac, obviously you guys are going to play Wales in the first game of the WXV2. So, yeah, does that come into the equation? Like, is it extra motivation that you really want to do well before you get to South Africa and have to play them again?
Yeah, I think, look, having a game against them this week before leading into WXV is a huge advantage for us. It gives us a really clear picture of where both sides stand at this point in time. But so far, we've really just focused on this first game. So taking it week by week, we know the game this Friday night against them is really pivotal for us in our campaign. We really want to come out and get the win and put a performance out on the field this week, I think, to give ourselves the confidence that we're performing where we need to be heading into South Africa next week. But also, to show what we need to do and what systems work against them and what systems we might need to shore up before we come against them in round one.
I see your record against them is, I think it's 6 games for 6 wins. So obviously, again, that's something that you want to keep going. And I suppose that goes, without saying that you don't want to be the first team to lose.
Yeah, definitely. And look, in my time in the jersey, the games against Wales have always been really, really close games, really physical games, and really tight contests. So, having that winning streak is I guess that little element of confidence. But we know it's going to be a tough game, and that we have to get our stuff right to come away with the result on Friday night. So, definitely don't want to be the first. Definitely don't want to jinx it. But we're coming into this weekend with our eyes on that win.
And I mean, internally, externally, it's kind of hard to get a read on where the team's at. Like, the results, I guess, in some ways have been a bit disappointing coming off what happened last year. But what's the picture like internally? You feel like there's growth there? I mean, obviously you've got a new coach, so a lot of things change. Yeah, where do you kind of see where you're at?
Yeah, there's been so much growth in this group in the last 12 months. On the field and off the field, honestly, I don't think you can compare the people that are in the room now to what we were and where we were at the start of the year. You touched on the fact that it's not translating at this point onto what we do on the field, but the amount of knowledge off field, the amount of improvement in work ethic, understanding, execution in the training paddock has been huge for our group. And hopefully this weekend is when you see it come together. And I think that's what it will be. It'll be that moment where it clicks and that pass comes off or that move comes off. Through our review, we've seen that even when we're getting things wrong and we're not executing the way that we want to, opportunities are there, space is there, and it's that execution of tiny moments at each point in the game that's letting us down. So we're not far off, and we hope that what we're doing is enough to keep people interested and keep people watching, because there's going to be a moment, and as I said, it's going to be really soon, and hopefully this weekend, where it all comes together. Hey Finn, how are you? Yeah, no. I think, Joe's an incredibly passionate, incredibly compassionate coach, and obviously cares a lot about this group as individuals and this group as a team and what we're putting out on the field. Review this week. Fiery is a tough word. Yeah, I would say there was definitely more honesty in it, and brutal honesty from all of the coaching staff and the players alike when we reviewed this week. There was no shying away from individual accountability or where we needed to be better as a team, because I guess we turned around and said, look, if we're going to be better and we're going to take those steps, we need to be honest with each other. So there was a little bit more fire in it. It was probably a little bit harder to hear at some points, but I think exactly what we needed in the moment, and was that right shift, I guess, towards where we've got to this week and where we want to keep pushing towards.
It's such a cliche, but I'm gonna throw it out there. But you learn more from your losses. Is that?
Yeah.
As a group, you kind of approach that as, last weekend's result against the Irish. That can be a turning point, or it can be something a springboard of sorts to kind of push you on to where you want to go.
Yeah, 100%, and we've taken a lot out of the losses this year. Probably, well, definitely more than we would have liked to have had, and probably more lessons than I think we've wanted this year. But we have taken a lot out of it and grown a lot out of it as a group, and it's highlighted a lot of knowledge areas and skill execution points that we can take away and improve on. And I think, yeah, you mentioned it, and I mentioned before, this weekend I think was definitely a turning point for us. We came away and we said, look, that's enough, and we want to be better, and we want to push to be better as individuals and push to be better as a group. And this weekend coming and leading into WXV, it's now or never, to be cliche, not now or never, but this is when we want to start it, and this is where we're going to do it.
And for you, back in captaincy, what was the discussions like with Jose over the last 2 weeks? I guess getting relieved of those duties for the last test and then back into the saddle.
Yeah, definitely honoured to be back in that role this week. Yeah, conversations over the last couple of weeks. We're a growing side and we're a new side, and I think it's important that you have depth in all positional roles across the field, whether that's leadership, whether that's specific positions. Sioka's an incredible leader in this group, as is Trillian and Laurie Kramer, the rest of our leadership group. So I think she did a phenomenal job stepping into that lead role last week and led us around the park, both at training and during the game, really well. As I said, honoured to be back in the position this week, but I'd like to think it doesn't change what I do as a player, as a teammate, just as I know it won't change how Bessie turns up on Friday to perform for this group. But yeah, I think it's really good for us to improve as much, I guess, growth and depth as we can in all roles across the field.
Can I actually ask you one a little bit left field, Matt,
Yeah.
about Commonwealth Games? I mean, obviously 15-a-side isn't part of the Commonwealth Games, but I'm guessing that any rugby program that keeps girls involved in the sport is a good thing. They're going to make some decisions in the next couple of weeks about which sports are going to be played in Glasgow in 2026. I guess, like, from being the Wallaroos captain, you'd like to see the sevens girls be there, and you get a bit of crossover, and you might even get even more sort of heading into the next World Cup. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, definitely would love to see rugby sevens included. Any exposure is good exposure, right? And we definitely know that sevens with our Aussie women is a massive draw card for the sport, particularly in Australia, but globally. You've seen what Alona Ma's done over the last few weeks to grow recognition in the game and to make people aware that rugby is a sport. And I think, yeah, if we can get thousands more, millions more people tuning into sevens, it brings an awareness to the game. They might cross over and have a look at the 15s code. And yeah, we want people in the sport. We want people interested in the game. And I think, yeah, we'd be pushing to do whatever we can to be included in the comms games coming up. Thank you.
On that sevens piece, Mac, we saw Murphy Crowe, Higgins, Flood all make an impact in the Irish jersey. Is there that appetite within the Wallaroos unit to have a similar story for the Aussie sevens coming across, and how, if that's the case, how far along those discussions internally?
Yeah, look, those discussions probably come at a higher pay grade than mine. I think that's probably looking more at a coaching and a management area. But definitely, as players, we want the best field that we can field on the day. So whether that's 15s players, whether it's a mix of sevens players, the best athletes putting their hand up is going to get us the job done. So definitely something we're open to, and definitely something that we may see in the future, pending selections and performances, and I guess people's desires to be included in this space. But yeah, it's happened before. We've had Bien Torito, we've had Shani Williams, Shani Smale, I should say. But yeah, it's happened before, and I'm sure there's girls that would like to try again coming into World Cup next year. And yeah, as a player, you want to win, right? You want to do the best for your country, the best for your team. So if we can field the best 23, best 30 in those squads as we can, I'd say that's a win for us.
And back on the Wales focus for this week, you mentioned the 6-0 record earlier, but you started those last two games and they've been single digit, really tight affairs.
Yeah.
What's your memory from that last minute or two in WXB last year with the rolling Whites right down to the wire?
Yeah, stressful would be my last memory. But nah, yeah, they're always close games. They're always really physical games. Always really gritty games. Those ones where, yeah, I guess emotions start to flare a little bit wild. So we know it's going to be tough, as I said, and we know we have to execute right. But I think for us, the focus will be coming into this game, starting it from the start, the way that we want to play, and then I guess keeping the intensity on whilst maintaining our composure throughout. So yeah, really excited for Friday night. I think a home crowd too, it should be a good atmosphere. And yeah, hopefully a good turning point and a good result for us.